All right, here we are at the Southern Nationals in Adel, Georgia. First time running this track. It's new to NHRA and new to the drivers. Imagine that. Okay. Anyway, right off the bat, I want to send my condolences to the John Forrest family. John's oldest daughter, Adria, has passed away, which we all know is Robert Height's wife. I don't have any details as to how she passed away. I'm not sure. But it's with heavy hearts that we have to announce that Adria has passed away. My condolences to the Forrest family. John, Brittany, Courtney, Ashley, Laurie, my condolences. All right. So, with that being said, it's a very sad day. It's very sad. But anyway, let's continue on with the Top Fuel Q1 at Adel, Georgia.
Others, Bob Fry went into the Hall of Fame this year as Dan Mercier heats him up. All right, Big Daddy, Top Fuel, your category, your passion. Got to get you excited a little bit, but you want the driver's name on the car bigger. Why?
Dan Mercier is going to win solo.
The driver's name should be right by the cockpit, at least 4 or 5 inch high block letters, so that the people in the stand know who's driving these cars. And that's part of the whole deal. Who is the driver? And be able to keep up with them. And just not giving these drivers the proper publicity that they deserve. I know the sponsor's important. The sponsor's not as important as the driver. The driver has got to be important in this sport.
Amen. That's a great thing. Without the driver, Dan Mercier pays for it all. He tunes his own car, and he does not have a sponsor. Might as well put his name a little bigger.
Yeah, it should.
There we go. Mercier going to be first down. Answered a trivia question years from now. Top Fuel on track.
And he didn't get
Instant smoke. The clutch once again.
Oh,
coming
just put it right in there.
All right, let's talk about that. You've driven these cars more than anyone. When things don't work correctly like that, it's got to get your attention immediately.
Well, the funniest thing in my life on these cars was when I went to Indy in 2001 and drove Gary Clapshaw's car. I made a couple of runs. It wasn't doing nothing.
The honored 75 great driver, he is right at the top.
Don
and
Carlson,
between us all, I'm freaking out a little
legend.
bit. I'm hanging out with Don Garlitz. Thank you for my little personal moment right there. Camp Foray, Will Smith, a couple of young racers that are living their dream. Camp Foray, the Ron Smith machine out of Huntington Beach, California. Part-time driver, does a great job. Should be one of the full-time drivers out here. We just need more cars and opportunity. That's what Ron's trying to do. Build this program, looking for sponsorship. They've gotten better and better throughout. And then there's Will Smith. Bluebird Turf, the second car coming out of the Skag Racing Top Fuel bunch. Got SB Tools USA, Redline Oil, Scott Okahara, Glenn Huzzer on the tune. This guy is doing a great job in his reaction times. Of course, Justin Ashley has made a name for himself and set the bar for reaction times. And Will has been very close to the Justin Ashley standard. Heard Justin on the Life's a Drag show on YouTube earlier this week, talking a little bit about how he's like, I haven't told Will anything. That's Will's natural ability. So let's see what happens right here as they try to put it in the field. Smoke for Camp Foray, a smoke for Will Smith, and the Bluebird Turf machine goes silent.
It's too aggressive.
So, weather maybe tomorrow. So it's important to lay down a solid run here today. I mean, as far as numbers of cars, we should be good, but Sean Reed Trucking and Excavating, Sean heating him up on the left-hand side, and Tony Schumacher. the American Communications Construction.
Tony Schumacher,
Top
Sean
fuel
Reed.
dragster.
I think Sean Reed is running
So for those
just
of
himself.
you that follow the sport on a
Zetterstrom
regular basis on
will not join
NHRA.tv, you
Sean
may
Reed
recall round one,
in
Top Fuel,
this race.
1 week ago. Tony
in this
Schumacher,
session, I should say.
everybody fired,
No,
then we had to shut down.
maybe
due
I
to
should
rain.
say
Spoke with
this
Jesse
weekend.
from the Rick
She's
Ware
not gonna
Racing
be
team
here.
earlier today, and he kind of clued me in on what was going on with that. Ultimately, the supercharger seized in such a way that they were not going to be able to make it. And so NHRA was trying to figure out what exactly had happened so that they didn't do something that was unfair to a competitor. David Grubnick, I was right on the scene, he was just being a great sportsman, and the other two teams kind of realized that they were not going to be able to make it back. It took a minute and then some to get that all sorted out. But I'm a big believer in take a little extra time and get it right. And after speaking with Jesse this morning, they got it right. Tony Schumacher, right side. American Communications Construction.
Tony
Thanks to Avon
does
McBride
better than he has
for
been doing.
supporting
It's
this
not his
team
fault.
for the remainder of the decade.
The tuners.
Let's see if the winningest driver can put it in.
And
Instant
he's
smoke, and once
right
again,
off
the
the
funny
bat.
cars were getting down. Top fuel
You see that
dragsters.
thing come up on the tires when it's
And they gotta,
Centrifugal force.
Oh, yeah.
they gotta
Wild.
start
Jason
getting that
Galvin,
car right, man.
starting line.
Hi, Joe.
I
Hello,
hate to
Jason.
point
Hi, I'm
fingers, but
bombarding
I
on
gotta
Chelsea.
tell
I
you,
think she doesn't know it, but I want to talk about
Tony's
the great
Tony's
program that Mission
team
Foods launched last week in
is
Charlotte that we
not
are
doing
bringing
well.
back
They're-
here today
they're
on Joe.
just
What do you got
off
going on after
for
this
some
session?
reason.
Right, the clutch business.
Yeah.
They evolved it.
Yeah.
Look, let's see clutches. Wild. All right, Clay Milliken rolling out close to the grandstand left side. There's Clay. And here comes Antron Brown. One of NHRA's top 75 drivers. Don, I would love to get your opinion on Antron Brown. I know you and Antron go way back. You have a friendship, a great relationship. He burst onto the scene and became a 4-time champion. Tell me about your first meetings of Antron.
He's one of the nicest young men I've ever met. He was so unassuming and just so low-key. He's just a perfect guy for PR, for a company. So, it's the type of a guy that a big company's looking for to represent them. And he really fits the bill perfect. And, of course, Clay Milligan is a great kid, too. I love him. They've both been at it a long time, and they're good guys.
Hear that, Clay? Garland's called you a kid. Come on, AB, get after it. Antron Brown gets down through there. 389.6, 316.97. And Brian Karate and Brad Mason put it in the #1 spot. How about it, race fans? They got down through there. We got one of our top fuel cars down the racetrack. We'll talk about that on the burnout. His dad and you raced together.
Yes, we did.
The King, right? They called him the King.
King Hogan. They didn't call him King for nothing.
So Richard Hogan has been part of the Capco dominance, including the perfect
Justin Ashley and
countdown
Billy
a few
Torrance.
years
This would be a
ago.
good race
His
if they make it down
dad
the track.
and you raced against each other in North Florida. Tell me about King Hogan.
The first time I ever saw King Hogan was on Hillsborough Avenue. It's about 1950. I'm with my buddy. He's got a 38 Ford with a hot motor in it. And Hogan pulls up beside us with that little roadster with a V12. And I said, Grady, let's get him. Of course, it was all open, And we were in a convertible. And the Hogan just looked over at us and sneered. And Grady said, oh, we can't get him. That's the King. I said, the King? He says, nobody beats King Hogan. And we left the stoplight just shift like Grandpa, King Hogan left 2 black marks and waved bye to us.
Oh, my goodness. And they say bye to us on the starting line. And Justin Ashley with a little bit of smoke, 425, 198, 493, 4 for Billy Torrance. King Hogan had a V12 in 1950? He had a V12?
All the time.
Yeah,
Out of
V12 Lincoln motor.
Oh, my goodness.
I have the car in the museum. Richard, the son, got it for me. Looking for a job. I said, there's a broom over there. We need the shop cleaned up. Richard went right to work cleaning up the shop. Of course, he was real smart watching it build a motor.
Speedmaster,
and everything,
that is going to be
He
Josh Hart.
didn't sweep floors long. But
Maddie
then
Gordon, you watch her.
my nephew
Keep your eye on
were
her,
my
because
crew.
she is going to be
Only
the
two
next
guys.
Brittany Force.
And they wanted
Just
to take
keep
their
your eye on
girlfriends
her.
with them.
She's
Didn't take their
focused.
girlfriends out on the road. Well, we're
full of
quitting then.
energy. She just
I
loaded
said,
with
that's
energy.
fine. I said, Richard, you're the new crew chief. We went to Dragway 42 and won the race.
The rest is
First
history.
race he went to, he won.
Wow. And then
A good
goes,
omen.
It is a good omen. And then he goes on to have the perfect countdown, winning 4 consecutive championships in a row with them Capco boys. Josh Hart, right-hand side of the racetrack. John Force Racing, Speedmaster. Josh from Ocala, Florida, going side by side with Maddie Gordon. Maddie Mania, running wild. But Ocala, Josh is always going to be the second most famous racer from Ocala, unfortunately for him, but I know you and Josh have a good relationship.
Yeah, Josh is a nice guy. He really did well. I was surprised that he could get into the sport like that. And like he won that first big race at the Gator Nationals, you know. And I knew right then they're going to hear a lot more from him. And I think now this move over to the Force team, I think that's a smart move.
I agree. Let's see what he's got. Speedmaster and Maddie Gordon. Little wheel wobble for Maddie. She's going to get down through there, though. Maddie Gordon, 377.5, 329.75. And Maddie Gordon and Carlisle Tools are your new #1 qualifiers.
All right, I'm trying to get my energy up for this interview right here because I knew this was going to be extra as soon as you went low. But Maddie, this has been incredible to watch your progression, but that was a really great run there. Where are your expectations as you're kind of getting into mid-season-ish?
Yeah, you know, it's been awesome. You need some of that Troy and Rob power, but yeah, so stoked. You know, you see a lot of cars going out there and smoking the tires. We went right down Broadway, so proud of our team. Hi to Mom and Dad, Macy and Jake, and Grandma and Grandpa at home.
Girl's got too much energy,
my
boy.
parents are trucking down the highway, but this is so freaking awesome. You know what? I love these grandstands green and blue. Yeah, that's what it is. We're like rocking it. You know, Napa and Carlisle, we're like made for this track. So just really stoked. You know, love we went low, got 3 points. Those are big. So proud of our team.
I love it.
One take, she's knocking out commercial reads and scripts and all that stuff. And of course, I had to laugh. People said that about you, Ron. All right, next pair. Tony Stewart and Leah Pruitt, side by side, husband and wife. Tony Stewart, Leah Pruitt in Top Fuel.
That's too much.
It is.
I can't deal with that.
That's right. Isn't that crazy? We got them side by side, 2 wide. Tony on the left, Elite Motorsports. He's already got a race win with his new team.
Well, anyway, she's not using the Stewart last name anyway.
She wants her own identity on the racetrack. American Rebel Light Beer, Neil Strasbaugh, the crew chief. I asked him about how much information they share. He says they share as much as they can. But ultimately, Mike Green and Neil work together at Don Schumacher Racing. Now they work separately but together under a larger umbrella that is Elite Stewart.
I bet she outruns him.
Oh, yeah? I'll take that. For $1?
$1.
$1. Hope that's legal. I got smoke. Come on, smoke. Don't let me down. Now, Big Daddy knows a little something about getting outrun by ladies.
Oh, yeah, $1.
$1. $1. Moose Rocco. Help Garlitz find his wallet. How about that? Okay, being outrun by ladies makes me think of one name. And you know she's probably out there. Tell me about your nemesis. Paletta Air, Mac Tools. Don, you're a little disappointed. Connie is, we don't see Connie out there. Can't be at every
I'm going to get this one here.
Hey, Joe,
Yes.
I've not gotten the story yet, but you know who else I conspicuously don't see?
Who?
Alan Johnson.
Huh, maybe they'll come together. We'll find out. It's only Friday. All right, Doug Coletta. Talk a little bit about Doug.
Oh, I love Doug. He's such a nice guy. He's more like his dad than he is like Connie. Connie's a tough guy, you know. Which is, of course, that's why he's my hero. But Doug is a super nice guy.
Great driver.
Of course, I guess he's going to get the whole thing when it's over. That's all there is, right?
Hope so. Here we go. Oh, they're up in smoke right
Too
before
aggressive.
Too aggressive.
Track won't take that much.
They
It's
both
only
smoked them.
Q1, though. We'll be back later today.
I
Ladies
did.
and gentlemen, how about it for the Mission Food Series Top Fuel and, of course, the legend, Don Garlitz.
All right, there we have round 1. It's done. Okay, round 2 coming up. Stick around. It's coming right up.